Looks is deceiving, yes. Don't underrate me, man.
Before dancehall took over the airwaves, the 80s had a deep heartbeat. Harmony trios, UK root soldiers, and studio killers who built the sound of the decade. Most people remember the stars. Tonight, we remember the bands you forgot. If names like Chalice, Black Slate, Black Roots, The Viceroys, The Tamlins, Reggae Regular, Capital Letters, Misty and Roots, The Meditations, The Idols, Israel Vibration, The Gladiators, Home Tea, The Cimarrons, and The Mighty Roots, Radix don't ring a bell. You've been hearing their echo without knowing the source. Here's the promise. In a few minutes, you'll get one starter track for each group, the quick backstory, and the one detail to listen for. That bass line that moves the room, that harmony that gives you goosebumps, that dub drop that makes the speakers breathe. We're going from community halls in Bristol to dance halls in Kingston, from harmony-led roots to the dub architecture that powered 1,012 inches. By the end, your playlist and your respect for the 80s will be different. If you love reggae beyond the obvious hits, subscribe to Set Trends and drop one slept on 80s group plus one song in the comments. Headphones on, volume up. Let's bring these names back to life. Before British reggae had big budgets or radio support, the Cimarrons were already doing the work, touring, backing singers, and cutting their own tunes. Harder Than the Rock shows their approach. The drums keep a steady one drop, the bass rolls like a tide, and the guitar bubbles in tiny upstrokes that never lose time. The voices sit warm in the mix, close enough to feel like they're singing from the stage of a crowded community hall. What makes them special is balance. They sound tough without shouting, sweet without smoothing off the edges. You can picture Friday nights where the floorboards shake, not from flashy tricks, but from a band that knows exactly where the pocket lives. The Cimarrons helped build the platform so later UK acts could stand taller. This track is the blueprint. Craft first, ego second.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Capital Letters came out of the English Midlands with a root sound that felt lived in. No studio gloss, no clutter. Vineyard moves on firm bass and dry, confident drums, the kind that make your head nod even before the vocal arrives. The singer's tone is plain and sure, like a good friend telling you something true. Keys flicker around the edges, guitar chops keep time like a clock, and the chorus lands with a chant you can catch on the first pass. What holds it together is discipline. Every player leaves space, so the message can breathe. This is the side of 80s reggae that doesn't beg for attention. It earns it, bar by bar, with clear rhythms and a backbone you can lean on. South and East London shaped this band. Sound system pressure from the streets, song sense from long rehearsal rooms, and a storyteller's eye. Ghetto rock marches on a heavy stepper's beat, but the production stays light enough to let small details sparkle. An organ lick here, a snare accent there, harmonies that lift the hook and then disappear. The lyric speaks in snapshots, corners, faces, little victories and daily struggles, so the groove feels like it carries people as well as notes. The bass line does the real lifting. It locks to the kick drum and pulls the song forward like a rope. You can hear the UK scene inside it, the way live bands learn to play for the box, not against it. leaving air for the low end to work its magic. Amigo is proof that a simple idea, played clean and right in the pocket, can travel far. The rhythm is light on its feet, almost buoyant, with a guitar skank that clicks like a metronome. The vocal melody is friendly and direct. The chorus turns up exactly when your ear wants it. Listen to how the bass never shows off yet still leads the dance, and how the drum fills arrive like polite waves rather than crashes. It's a lesson in feel. Keep the groove easy, keep the lyric open, and you'll have a song strangers can sing together by the second chorus. Black Slate weren't trying to outmuscle anyone. They were building a bridge from stage to crowd. Decades later, that bridge still holds. Black Roots sound like a band that understands the long game. Bristol rock is steady and proud. Horns lift the edges of each line. The bass walks with quiet authority, and the drums keep a patient pulse you could ride for hours. The lead vocal is plain-spoken, almost conversational. The harmonies arrive like neighbors stepping onto a stoop to back a point. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is wasted. The song lets you feel the place it comes from. Small venues, working audiences, and a scene that built itself from scratch. That's the charm and the power. You hear resilience turned into rhythm. It's music designed not just to play once, but to hold up night after night, set after set, until a community knows it by heart. Chalice sound like sunlight on a Sunday afternoon. Silky lead vocals, clean harmonies, bright keyboards, and a rhythm section that never breaks a sweat. The drums don't rush, the bass doesn't crowd, and the guitars flicker in tiny upstrokes that keep your head moving without you noticing. It feels radio-friendly because the melody is smooth and the chorus lands exactly where your ear wants it. But under that polish, you can hear Roots' discipline, tight timing, careful dynamics, and lyrics that choose comfort without losing substance. It's the kind of track that works in a car with the windows down and still holds up on a big system where the low end can stretch its legs. Here's a masterclass in restraint. 3 veteran voices float in close harmony, while Sly and Robbie build a cool, unblinking groove underneath. The drum pattern is crisp, the bass moves like a slow tide, and every echo is placed with intention. Instead of pushing the emotion, the Tamlins let the harmonies carry it. Long notes that bloom, short phrases that glide in and out of the pocket. The result is a cover that rewrites the song's center of gravity. Same melody, new meaning. You feel the weight in the spaces between the lines. It's velvet above, granite below. The perfect 80s taxi balance. When this trio steps in, the lead voice comes forward like a blade, clean and certain. The harmonies sit right behind it, rounding the edges and giving the chorus a lift without softening the message. The band honors the one drop. Kick and snare speak plainly. The bass holds the floor, and the guitar skank marks time like a second hand on a clock. Nothing is oversized. That's why it hits. The Viceroys remind you that Roots can be powerful without getting loud, and that authority often comes from how well you hold back. By the last refrain, you're not just humming the hook. You're standing a little straighter. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop Allure, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise cancelling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. This is 80s roots with a steel spine. The drums are big and dry, the bass line walks with purpose, and the vocals carry a melody you can sing on first listen. But the sweetness hides a hard center. Lyrics about loyalty, pressure, and choosing a path when times get rough. The arrangement matches the message. Tight, disciplined, and built to march forward. You get call and response moments that feel like a crowd gathering, short instrumental fills that clear space for the next line, and a chorus that returns like a rally point. It's the balance the decade needed. Hooks that invite everyone in, words that refuse to look away. Press play, and the room settles. The Itals don't hurry. They build trust. Acoustic colors tuck into full band roots, and the 3 voices fit together like pieces of a carved box. Each different grain, one shape. The tempo is patient, the groove unshakable. Verses unfold like short stories. Choruses read like proverbs your grandparents would nod at. The strength is in tone, warm but steady, kind but firm. By the end, you feel like you've been given something useful, not just entertained. That's their gift in the 80s, turning melody into memory and rhythm into resolve. You can hear the miles on their shoes. The Gladiators sound like a band that played every stage, learned every crowd, and kept their roots strong even as the 80s changed the gear and the mix. The guitars ring with a bright, confident tone. No fuzz needed, and the bass line walks forward like a decision already made. The drums keep time with calm power, leaving space for the song to breathe. The melody feels carved, shaped by hands that know what lasts and what fades. Nothing here is rushed, nothing is pasted on. It's classic roots craft meeting a new decade sound, proof that experience can shine without shouting. This is what community sounds like on record. The beat is a patient stepper, firm kick, dry snare, and a bass that moves people as one. Voices enter like a crowd answering a leader. Call and response phrases, short chants that grow into hooks you can picture a whole room singing. Guitars and keys color the edges, never taking the center from the drums and bass. The lyrics stand tall, dignity, endurance, purpose, spoken without drama because the rhythm already carries the weight. Even in the studio you hear a stage, a hall, a night where strangers end up moving together. That's the Misty and Roots gift, turning a track into a gathering. Trios don't get more recognizable than this. The lead voice is earthy and human, the harmonies lift like light over water, and the band lets time stretch so each line can land. The rhythm section doesn't push, it holds steady, which makes the chorus feel even bigger when it blooms. Acoustic colors sneak in beside the electric groove. Little guitar figures, soft keys, and nothing gets in the way of the blend. The song is spiritual without showiness. It asks for your attention in a kind voice and earns it by staying honest. By the last refrain, the title feels true in your chest. Here's the handoff between eras in one tune. Home T's harmony roots glide across the top, smooth, confident, easy to sing, while Coco T's sweet tone threads the lines and Shaba's DJ verses snap into place with command. The rhythm is big-shouldered, heavy drum and bass, sharp guitar skank, and drops that pull the floor out for a split second before the beat returns stronger. It's modern, but the heart is old school. Unity, pride, the crew moving as one. You can feel the big stage confidence and the street corner spark in the same 3 minutes. That mix is why it stuck.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
If you want to know why so many 80s reggae records hit so hard, start with the engine. Roots Radix were the band under countless singers, and on their own dub sets they show exactly how the machine works. Drums and bass sit up front, dry and deep, kick and snare like landmarks, bass like a wide river. Guitars, keys, and horns become flickers of light, dropping in and out as the mix shifts around them. The engineer treats the board like an instrument, muting whole parts, throwing a rim shot into a long echo, letting one chord hang in space before snapping the groove back tight. Nothing is cluttered. Every sound has a job. The result is music that breathes. Simple parts arranged so well that the room itself becomes part of the rhythm. After you hear the Radix strip it down, you'll hear the decade differently. The singers were the face, but this was the spine. If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video. Everybody knows the legends, but the real roots run deeper, hidden in one-album wonders, harmony trios, and UK sound system collectives that never touched the charts but shaped the sound. Tonight we're digging up 10 obscure reggae groups you need in your crates today. One essential track each, and exactly what to listen for. The one-drop versus steppers feel, the dub choices in the mix, and the harmonies that make the bass line feel like a prayer. If your playlist stops at the usual suspects, you're missing the Black Ark gems, Wacky's deep cuts, and UK roots that kept the culture alive off radio. These aren't footnotes, they're the blueprint. From the Gatherer's righteous words of my mouth to the Royals' stark devotion, with detours through Mistian roots, the Cimarrons, Tetrak, and more, heavy bass, meditative keys, harmonies that lift the roof. This is C-Trends. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's drop the needle. Watch to the end and comment your sleeper reggae group plus one must-hear track. I'll pin the best for part 2. The beauty of this record is how little it needs to say everything. The guitars are kept spare, the skank is soft and punctual rather than aggressive, so that the bass can carry much of the melodic burden. That bass isn't just root and fifth, it slides into tones that tint the harmony without crowding the vocal. You hear percussion splashes and the kind of spring reverb trails that seem to continue the lyric after the line ends. Classic mid to late 70s Black Ark vocabulary. Echo as theology. The chorus works because of restraint. Instead of stacking extra parts, the arrangement lengthens what's already there. Bass notes sustain a fraction longer, the snare releases a hair wider, the backing voices open into thirds that feel like a small congregation entering the frame. Lyrically, the song is devotional, but the devotion is practical. A promise to live in alignment rather than posture. That tone is mirrored in the mix. Dark-tuned reverbs, very little high-end gloss, so the track reads intimate even when played loud.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it, a massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Bullwacky's Bronx studio had a sonic fingerprint, New York concrete wrapped around Kingston circuitry, and Stranger is a perfect specimen. The drum sound is dry and forward, the kick is rounded, the snare lightly sanded, giving the rhythm a soft shoulder that lovers' rock craves. Underneath, the bass moves like syrup, not sludge, long notes with tiny anticipations that pull each bar forward. Over that, the Lovejoy's harmonies sit close. They're not operatic, they're conversational. Two voices sharing one melody, drifting apart and finding each other again by the end of a phrase. Wacky's mixes are famously dub-aware, even on straight vocal cuts.
You go your way.
Here, delays fold into the groove like shadows, and the organ bubble is more felt than heard, a pulse that tucks the beat rather than underlining it.
We say hello, then we go outside.
The lyric turns a simple encounter, meeting someone unfamiliar, into a meditation on belonging, and the production doubles down on that theme by making the studio feel like a room you already know. No grand gestures, confidence through atmosphere. Misty were a community before they were a band. Southall activists, sound system stewards, and a live machine forged in union halls and anti-racist festivals. Musi Otunya carries that weight in its pacing.
There's more Santonia.
The rhythm section locks to a patient one drop. The drum pattern feels like a walking meditation, while the bass writes paragraphs under the verse, sometimes staying home on the root to steady the lyric, sometimes climbing a step to signal a turn.
Is a great river flow on to a greater.
Horns, when they appear, are not there to decorate. They testify in short phrases, leaving plenty of air so the lead vocal can lay out the terrain. The title calls on the indigenous name for Victoria Falls, which already gives the song a geography larger than any single borough.
By the old banks of Zambezi.
Musically, the arrangement respects that scale by letting sections arrive rather than burst. The chorus isn't bigger because it's louder. It's bigger because the instruments lengthen, organ swells last longer, bass notes bloom, snare tails widen, so the room itself seems to open.
By the old banks of Zambezi. There's must have told.
Misty's great trick is to hold devotional calm and political urgency in the same hand. The playing is militant without hurry. The message is steady enough to carry a crowd from the first row to the last. Before UK reggae had infrastructure, the Cimarrons were already building it. Touring bands, session backbones, a bridge between Caribbean immigrants and British studios. Harder than the rock is Roots minimalism sharpened to a point. The guitar skank is dry and exacting. You can set your watch by it. The drums sit on top of the meter with near military regularity, but they're not stiff. The ghost notes on the snare make the groove breathe, while the hi-hat opens just enough on choruses to lift the roofline. The bass sounds like masonry, centered, controlled, never flabby, so when it deviates from the root for a bar, you really feel the floor tilt. The lyric is resolve set to melody, not a boast, a vow, and the recording aesthetic is brutally honest, close-mic'd, little sheen, because the point is not to seduce but to assert. This is UK Roots declaring itself contemporaneous with Jamaica, not a mirror of it. Pull the track apart and you'll hear the training manual for later British bands. Keep the arrangement spare, trust the pocket, and let conviction be the reverb. Some records feel like a whole doctrine pressed into wax. This is one of them. The Mighty Three's lone album sits in that late 70s window when militant Roots albums still sounded handmade. Harmonies are tight but never airbrushed. You hear each singer as a separate grain that blends into one voice on the downbeat. The rhythm section favors steppers propulsion in the chorus. 4-on-the-floor kick drum turning the lyric into movement, then eases back into a one-drop feel in verses to give the message space. Guitar is almost ascetic, a dry upstroke skank, occasionally a low chimed arpeggio to signal transition. Keys do real work, organ bubbles keep the time honest, and a few high reedy lines stitch the bar lines together without crowding the vocal. In the mix, delays are used like punctuation. The last word of a key line will catch a short echo and fall away, making the thought linger. The text draws directly on scripture and Pan-African longing. The music makes that longing physical. You can march to this, but you can also pray to it. The magic is how the arrangement dignifies both uses. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. A harmony trio framed by Augustus Pablo's Rockers palette. Let's Get Started is the sound of late 70s roots at full focus. Minor key gravitas, melodica smoke curling through the mix, and a bass line that moves like groundwater. Slow, inevitable, nourishing everything it touches. The rhythm section never hurries. One-drop verses leave air around the vocal stack. In the chorus, the kick leans toward stepper's momentum, so the message feels like forward motion rather than mere uplift. Pablo's production is all proportion. Rim shots cut cleanly. Guitar skank is dry and punctual. The organ bubble lives low in the picture as timekeeper, not ornament. Vocal arrangement is the secret weapon. Leads pitched intimate and unforced. Harmonies entering late in the phrase so refrains feel earned, not announced. The dub sensibility, short delay throws, spring reverb that blooms and disappears, turns space into theology. It's devotional music with an engineer's discipline, where every shade of echo and every note length argues for balance, calm, and resolve. Short-lived on paper, monumental on record. Children of Jah is roots harmony at its most weightless and most grounded, a paradox achieved by keeping the band small on the surface and deep at the center. Drums are tuned dry, the snare releasing just enough air to lift the roofline at chorus. Bass walks a restrained path, mostly root and fifth, with tiny anticipations before downbeats that tug the song ahead. Guitar is almost ascetic, a narrow EQ'd upstroke that functions like punctuation. Over that grid, the Chantel's voices braid, one lead in calm testimony, two harmonies that arrive on the back half of lines, creating the feeling of a congregation gathering around a witness. Keys provide glow rather than glare. Organ swells, a faint piano double here and there, to color the harmonics without stealing clarity. The lyrics' righteous plain speech is mirrored by the mix. No gloss, no crowding, dark-tuned reverbs that keep intimacy even at sound system volume. It's the template many later Deep Roots reissues chase. Gravity without heaviness, serenity with spine. Cut in the crucible of late 70s Kingston studio craft, Woman is like a shadow, rides a pocket so relaxed and so exact that the harmony stack can float without ever losing center. The revolutionary style drum sound, firm kick, tight cross stick, hi-hat that opens by degrees, gives the verse a heartbeat pace. When the chorus lands, the snare widens and the bass lengthens its note tails, making the hook feel taller without anyone touching the faders.
'Cause they will do things to hurt you, and it's no joke about.
The Meditation's trademark is conversational blend. 3 distinct grains of voice that meet on the downbeat and separate at the bar line, turning relationship observation into call and answer liturgy.
They will hurt you, 'cause woman is like a shadow.
Arrangement choices are small and perfect. Organ bubbles that stitch the barleans, guitar partials high enough to avoid masking the vocal, a few horn phrases that testify and vanish.
Oh, how much you care, 'cause they will do things.
What could read as aphorism on the page becomes lived texture in the groove. The band's refusal to overstate lets nuance be audible, which is why the track still feels like a room you can walk into and recognize.
Reality, you gotta face the fact, baby, we'll lose.
A stepper's locomotive with velvet corners, 4 on the floor kick, bass as anvil, and harmony that rides the chassis instead of fighting it. Heart Made of Stone is a masterclass in extended mix thinking. The 7 edits work, but on the 12th, the song breathes. Dub windows open after key lines. Guitar skank drops out to reveal pure drum and bass architecture, and the vocal returns like a lighthouse in fog.
You should have let me know. It's no
The hook hangs in the air because the rhythm section gives it space to ring. Note the placement of the rim shot. Slightly ahead of center in choruses to lift the tempo of your attention. Dead center in verses to keep the storytelling grounded.
You should have let me know. It's no use you hide.
Harmony is bittersweet, never saccharine. The lead line stays within a modest range, so the blend can do the emotional modulation. It's the rare roots anthem that feels both militant and merciful. Granite in the low end, human warmth in the voices. All of it engineered to move a crowd in body and in will.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Roy Cousins' project distilled the devotional core of roots into arrangements so spare they feel carved, not written. Pick up the pieces is the summit. Unhurried one drop. Iron bass set a touch behind the kick so the groove leans back in faith. Guitar skank that behaves like a metronome, and horn phrases that punctuate rather than decorate. The vocal sits forward, almost dry. The harmony answering in thirds like neighbors stepping into the doorway as the testimony gathers. There's no race to the chorus. The song trusts that repetition, phrasing, and breath control will do the lifting. Production avoids treble sheen, favoring mid-range presence and dark reverbs, so the performance reads intimate even at system volume. The lyrics instruction, build, repair, restore, is mirrored by the mix's discipline. Nothing wasted, everything placed. As a single and as the spine of a classic LP, it became a touchstone for singers and collectors because it models a way of being in sound, steadfast, uncluttered, resolute, that outlasts fashion. If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video. Which 1970s reggae song became a protest anthem across borders? Which one turned a small movie into a global movement? And which dub cut changed the way producers think about space, bass, and silence? Welcome to C-Trends. We're counting down 15 reggae classics that still shake the soul. Roots hymns, lovers rock chart smashers, and dub experiments that made engineers into stars. You'll hear a psalm sung as Resistance, a sweet heartbreak that hit #1 in the UK, a Black Ark masterpiece with a voice like a siren, and a Studio One reality tune that felt like midnight in slow motion. We chose songs with history, influence, and replay value, tracks that lived in sound systems, radio, and people's memories for decades. If reggae is part of your story, or you're ready to learn, this list will guide you. Stay to the end for the live version that still gives chills. Top 15 1970s Reggae Songs. We'll Never Forget starts now at number 15. This is a song built from scripture and struggle. The lyrics draw on the Psalms, where a people far from home sing about memory, loss, and faith. In Jamaica at the start of the 1970s, those words landed with new power. The melodians shaped them into a hymn for everyday life. Sweet three-part harmony riding a steady heartbeat of bass and drums. It sounds gentle, but it carries a quiet strength. You can hear a community speaking to itself. We remember who we are, even if the world forgets. Rivers of Babylon spread first by word of mouth and sound system. It moved from church benches to dance halls because the feeling was universal.
And the meditation of our heart, the exhale.
Everyone knows exile in some form, being pushed out, pushed down, or simply overlooked. The tune gives comfort, but it also gives backbone. When the chorus rises, you feel people standing a little taller. Years later, when the song reached audiences far beyond Jamaica, it proved what reggae could do. Take a local story and make it global without losing its soul. Listen closely to the production. Nothing is rushed. The rhythm section lays a calm bed. The harmonies arrive like a hand on your shoulder. Each line invites you to sing along, not as a fan, but as part of the choir. That is why this record lasts. It is not a trend, not a trick. It is a prayer you can dance to.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
I only give up my life.
Ken Booth took a soft rock ballad and turned it into something deeply human. His voice is smooth but strong, with a touch of pain around the edges. The rhythm is relaxed, almost like a slow sway, and that groove lets the emotion breathe.
Back again. Is there someone?
You can picture a small club, lights low, a couple holding each other after a hard week. That is the magic of lovers rock. It brings the big feelings down to a personal scale. This single reached the top of the UK charts, and that matters.
And I would give anything I own.
It told a whole new audience that reggae could be intimate, not only militant or mystical. For many British listeners, this was a first real connection to Jamaican music. They didn't need to know every subgenre or studio name. They just needed to feel something honest.
Them one day, someone takes them away.
Booth gave them that. No drama, no showy runs. Just a man telling the truth about love and loss. The arrangement is a lesson in restraint. Guitar chops are light. Keys bloom and fade like breath. The bass doesn't shout, it carries. Booth never hurries the hook.
You may lose them one day. Someone.
When he finally opens up on the chorus, you believe him. That sincerity is why the song still works at weddings, on radios, and in quiet rooms when someone's heart is heavy. It shows reggae's softer face without losing its roots. This is the sound of ambition and resistance in one voice. The story behind it, a young man chasing a dream and crashing into a hard system, mirrors the movie it anchors. But even if you've never seen a frame of film, the song speaks clearly. The hook is simple and strong. Even when the world pushes back, you push forward. That message fit the streets of Kingston, and it also fit London, New York, Lagos, anywhere people fight to be seen. Jimmy Cliff's delivery is bright and determined. He doesn't beg, he declares. The band keeps a rolling pulse that blends rock-steady warmth with a tougher edge, like a bridge between eras.
Give them, Lord, they know not what they've done. 'Cause as sure as
That blend helped reggae step onto the world stage. Here was music that could tell a local story and still feel universal. Music that invited you to sing the chorus even on a first listen. What makes it last is balance. The verses sketch struggle. The chorus promises dignity. The groove keeps you moving while the lyric sharpens your mind.
yes, I'd rather be.
Many songs talk about power. This one gives you a little of it back. When the last chord rings, you feel lighter, not because the world changed in 3 minutes, but because the song reminded you that you can.
Music is what I got, baby. I want you to come on and shake it.
Toots Hibbert stands at the crossroads of gospel, soul, and reggae, and this track proves it. He sings with the warmth of a church led and the grit of a soul shouter, then drops into the one-drop pocket like it was made for him.
Baby, I want you to come on and shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
The groove is easy but alive. Organ bubbling, horns answering the vocal lines, guitar chopping like a metronome with swagger. If joy had a sound, it would be this rhythm section. Funky Kingston does not preach a long sermon. It invites you to feel good in your body and still keep your spirit awake.
Oh, yeah.
That balance made Toots a perfect guide for listeners who were new to reggae. You didn't need a cultural map to enter the song. You just needed ears. Still, if you look under the surface, there's a cultural handshake going on. The band is speaking to Jamaica and America at once, showing how black music travels and transforms, how a Kingston groove can hold hands with Memphis soul. The secret is Toots's phrasing. He pushes and pulls against the beat the way a great dancer leans into a step. Every yeah and ooh lands like a wink.
Let me hear your funky guitar.
The record is tight but never stiff, polished but never slick. It invites a party without losing its roots. That is why so many people call this a gateway track. Open the door with Funky Kingston, and a whole world of reggae opens with it.
The work was so hard. You remember the days of slavery.
Here, the mood turns deep and heavy. Burning Spear doesn't perform this song. He channels it. The rhythm is slow, deliberate, and strong as a drum circle. Horns don't decorate, they warn. The bass line doesn't show off. It carries a message across the river. When Spear sings, his voice feels carved from wood, plain, steady, and full of weight. He is not trying to entertain, he is trying to teach. The subject is the great Pan-African leader Marcus Garvey, but the song is not a history lesson in dates and places. It is a living reminder. Remember the teachers, remember the vision, remember that dignity starts in the mind. In the mid-70s, as roots reggae grew in power, this track stood as a pillar. It brought the sound of Nyabingi drums and the spirit of Rastafari into the heart of popular music without watering anything down.
The big fat hole.
There is controversy and story around the album mixes and how the record reached international ears, but the core of the single remains pure. Listen to how the backing vocals circle Spear's lead like elders agreeing with each line.
The big fat hole.
Listen to how the horns answer, not with flashy runs, but with short phrases that feel like underlined text. Nothing in this track is casual. Every part says, pay attention. And that is the point. Some songs lift you up for a night. This one changes how you carry yourself the next day. It tells you that reggae can be ceremony, as well as entertainment, memory, as well as melody. When it fades, the room feels quieter, as if everyone needs a second to think. Then the needle lifts, and you're ready for the next chapter. Producer magic, darker colors, and the eerie genius that was about to reshape the sound.
Day by day, no one tried.
The first thing that hits you is the voice. Junior Mervin sings in a high, clear falsetto that cuts through the air like a warning siren. Under him, the beat is slow and heavy. The bass moves like a steady march. Echo and spring reverb bounce around the drums and guitar.
In any way. All the
That sound comes from Lee "Scratch" Perry's Black Ark studio, where nothing was plain. Perry loved space, texture, and mystery. He used simple gear to build a world that felt haunted and alive at the same time. This song is more than style. It paints a picture of mid-1970s Jamaica, a time of political fight, street tension, and fear.
Scaring the nation with their guns and
Mervyn does not shout, he reports. In his calm, almost gentle tone, you hear both sadness and strength. The chorus is simple enough for a crowd to sing, and many did, first at home, then in the UK, where the song became part of city life and youth culture. Punk bands heard it and covered it, not as a trend, but because the message and rhythm matched their own hunger for truth. Listen to how the instruments support that message. The guitar chops are short and sharp, like quick breaths. The organ sits low, barely moving, but filling the room. The drums are patient, never rushing the feeling. Perry's mix gives every sound a shadow. That shadow turns the song into a scene you can walk through. A lane at dusk, voices in the distance, and one voice rising above it all. Police and thieves in the street. You can see it, you can feel it. That is why the record lasts. It is a document and a groove at once. It proves reggae can carry the news and still make you move. Next comes a prophecy with an actual date on the calendar.
And I can see with my own eyes, it's only out.
Joseph Hill, the lead voice of culture, believed that certain days carry power. In this song, he sings about July 7th, 1977, 2 sevens, as a time of shaking and change. Whether listeners feared it or just felt it, the song landed with force. The harmonies are bright and welcoming, but the words are serious. The beat is steady and unbroken, a reminder that time keeps moving toward a moment you cannot ignore. Produced in Joe Gibbs's world of tight, ringing drums and warm bass, the track is simple and strong. Nothing shows off. Everything serves the message. Culture's three voices stacked neatly, like a crowd singing the same hope with different tones. On sound systems, the chorus became a kind of chant. In shops and buses, the title line was a headline of its own. In the UK, it helped link reggae to a broader scene of youth identity and protest. The song felt like a sign on the wall.
Strike by lightning, earthquake and thunder, I say, what?
What gives it lasting power is balance. There is urgency, but no panic. There is warning, but also wisdom. Hill does not try to predict every detail. He asks people to look around and prepare their hearts. The music leaves room for thought. You dance, but you also listen.
And sometimes I ride on bus X82.
And on the day itself, many people in Jamaica stayed home or moved carefully. The song had made its point. Time is not only dates, it is meaning. 2 sevens clash turned a calendar square into a mirror. It made listeners ask, where do I stand when history knocks? Now we step into a studio where the mixer is an instrument and silence becomes part of the beat. Dub is the art of subtraction. You take a great rhythm, strip away the lead vocal, and then rebuild the song with echo, delay, and sudden drops. In the hands of Augustus Pablo and King Tubby, that method becomes magic. This track rides the rhythm of Jacob Miller's Baby I Love You So. But what you hear is not a remix in the pop sense. It is a new language. The bass tells the story. The drums set the weather. And Pablo's melodica, the little keyboard you blow into, floats in and out like a voice from a dream. Tubby's mix is fearless. One moment the band is full and warm. The next, he pulls the floor from under you and lets a single snare hit echo into deep space. Then, just when you think the groove is gone, the bass returns and locks your body back into the pocket. These moves teach you how to listen. You start to hear negative space as part of the music, not a gap but a tool. It changes how producers, DJs, and fans think about sound. Why does it still feel fresh? Because the track trusts the listener. It never hurries, never begs for attention. It's confident that a strong rhythm and smart mixing can hold you for minutes at a time. And it proves a key point about reggae. Melody matters, but the engine is the rhythm section. With dub, that engine becomes the lead voice. After you live inside this record, other music sounds different. You notice the low end more. You wait for the drop. You start to crave air in the arrangement. This is not just a cornerstone of reggae. It is a blueprint for modern music across genres. We stay in a darker mood now, back to Black Ark, where politics and poetry meet a thick, smoky groove. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Forward, don't step backward. Step out of Bobby.
The title tells you the tone. This is a report from a hard season. Max Romeo sings with a weary calm, as if he has seen enough to know that bragging is useless. The band behind him, Perry's Upsetters, moves like a heavy cloud. The bass line rolls without hurry.
Grabbing at the cash box. This is the time.
The drums are deep and dry. Small guitar and keyboard details appear and vanish, as if the mix itself is fog. Perry was at a peak here, building a sound that feels both homemade and otherworldly. It is murky gold, not clean, not polished, but rich and alive.
This is the time of decision.
Romeo's writing is plain on purpose. He uses simple phrases to show complex reality. He points to the struggle many people faced in their daily lives, violence, corruption, fear, and turns those truths into a chorus anyone can sing. It is not a song for a quick party.
Grabbing at the cash box. This is the time of decision.
It is a song for a long walk home, for thinking about how to get through the week with dignity. That is why the track traveled so well. You did not have to know every detail of Jamaican politics to feel it. The feeling is universal. People in pressure fighting to keep their minds clear.
Indictive feelings ain't appealing. The truth is
The production deepens that message. Perry leaves space around the voice so each word hits. Background vocals come in like witnesses agreeing. Horn stabs are short and stern, not sweet. Nothing distracts from the spine of the tune. And yet, the groove is beautiful. You can sway to it. You can dance to it.
to step backward.
That mix, beauty carrying hard truth, is rare. It's what makes the record timeless. When it ends, you remember the line and the mood. You remember the weight, but you also remember the strength. Now the mood flips. Same era, same rhythm family, but a burst of teenage swagger climbs the charts and takes reggae into pop history.
road and you not call out to me. Do you see me in my pants and tee? See me.
Two teenagers step to the mic and change the room. Their voices are light and confident. Their words are full of style, fashion, attitude, and playful put-downs. Under them rolls one of the great reggae foundations, the I'm Still in Love rhythm, a rhythm line that has carried many hits.
Alter back. Send me give you heart attack. Give me little.
Here, it moves like a relaxed parade. The bass is warm, the drums are easy, and the guitar is a soft tick-tock that keeps everything in place.
See me in my Benz and ting. That a true con.
What makes the record special is how effortless it feels. The singers do not push. They smile through the lines, trading phrases like friends on a street corner. You can hear the joy of being young and sure of yourself. At the same time, there's craft in every bar.
Never know, say we top ranking. Uptown top ranking.
The call and response is tight. The timing is sharp. The chorus sticks on first listen. When UK radio picked it up, helped by a DJ who loved new sounds, the song shot up the charts. Suddenly, patois and reggae swagger were at #1. That win mattered. It proved that reggae could wear its own clothes and still rule pop.
Should I see me on the ranking dread?
The song also shows how deep reggae culture runs. A rhythm is not just a beat, it is a shared language. Artists answer each other across years, flipping old melodies into new stories.
Love is all I bring. In a khaki suit and ting.
Uptown Top Ranking is part of that conversation, and it has the best kind of reply. Light on its feet, full of charm, impossible to forget. Decades later, DJs still drop it to lift a crowd. Teen energy, classic foundation, and a hook for the ages. That is a rare combination.
Uptown top ranking.
From a siren falsetto to a prophecy, from dub science to political roots, and then to a joyful chart topper, these 5 songs show how wide the 1970s reggae map really is. Each track is its own doorway. Step through any one of them, and you find a world.
In mind that her love would never die, and now
Dennis Brown sings like someone who can calm a storm. His tone is warm and smooth, but there is a bruise underneath. That mix of strength and tenderness is why people call him the crown prince of reggae. Money in My Pocket existed before 1979, but the single version from that year is the one many remember.
so alone, so alone.
Joe Gibbs and his team tightened the rhythm, lifted the hook, and gave the track a clean, bright edge. The beat still sways like lovers rock, but it carries the weight of roots. The chorus lands softly and stays with you for hours.
Yeah, yeah, ooh, yeah.
The song is simple on paper, love slipping away, heartbreak you can't buy your way out of. But Dennis turns it into a confession you trust. He does not dramatize the pain. He lets it breathe. The bass walks without hurry. The guitar chops are light, like a steady clock. Small keyboard phrases bloom and fade.
See what love can do after making me feel.
Backing voices answer him with quiet sympathy. Nothing is wasted. Every bar serves the feeling. This version also marks a moment in reggae's journey. In late 70s Britain, Jamaican music had a strong presence on sound systems, in record shops, and on the charts.
Shame, yeah, yeah, to make me feel blue.
Brown's single reached the UK top 20, pulling new listeners toward reggae who might have thought it was only protest music. Here was heartbreak sung with dignity, set to a groove you could dance to or hold someone to.
So alone, yeah.
That mix, romance and roots together, became a bridge between communities. It still works because the truth is plain. Money can't fix a broken heart, but a good song can help you carry it.
Far, far away, the King of Kings.
Some songs feel like they have always existed. Sata Masagana is one of them. The Abyssinians weave Amharic phrases and Jamaican vocal style into a hymn that sounds both ancient and new. The melody rides a minor key horn line that circles like a prayer. The drum and bass move at a measured pace, no rush, no fuss, while the voices climb and settle with the grace of a choir.
we lose a star.
It is sacred and street at the same time. This tune did not just live on records, it lived in gatherings. Sound systems played it as a ritual moment. Congregations used it as a psalm in everyday language. Musicians recognized its power and built on its foundation. Over the years, many artists recorded versions on the same Sata rhythm. That is because the song offers room to praise, room to reflect, room to stand together without saying many words. It turns a dance floor into a place of memory. Listen to the craft. The horns are not decoration, they are part of the sermon. The bass line does not show off, it carries the weight. The harmonies are close and strong, like three friends leaning into one mic. When the refrain returns, it feels less like a hook and more like a response from the whole room. Sata Masagana reminds you that reggae can be ceremony, music that teaches, heals, and holds a community in one steady time. After it fades, the air feels different, like a bell has just rung.
Legalize it, yeah.
Peter Tosh sang with a straight spine. He did not hedge or soften his point. Legalize It is a perfect example, a clear demand wrapped in a lazy, unshakable groove. The tempo is unhurried, the bass is heavy and sure, the drums keep a relaxed one drop that opens space for the message. Tosh's voice sits right in the middle, calm, unblinking, and firm. He lists everyday people who use the herb, not to shock but to make a simple case. This is part of life, and it should not be a crime. At the time, the stance was risky. Some stations would not play it. Some people tried to dismiss it as a stunt.
Legalize it, yeah.
But the song refused to fade because it worked on two levels. It was a slogan people could chant, and it was also a strong piece of music. The melody is easy to sing. The rhythm is built to last. You can press repeat and let the idea settle in. That is how real change often begins. In a tune you can carry down the street.
Years of instruments too.
Over the decades, laws and attitudes shifted in many places, and the song kept its power. It became a banner at concerts and a shorthand in debates. But beyond policy, Legalize It stands for something bigger in reggae, the right to speak plainly about your world.
Doctors smoking.
Tosh believed the artist's job was to tell the truth and take the heat that comes with it. This track does exactly that, and it still sounds fresh because confidence never goes out of style. Late 70s Kingston had a certain mood, pressure in the air, long shadows at dusk, and music that moved slow but hit deep. Armageddon Time catches that mood in a few spare elements. The foundation is a classic Studio One rhythm, steady and unshakable. The bass walks with quiet authority. The organ bubbles like breath under the surface. The drums give you room to think between each hit. On top of this, Willie Williams delivers lines that feel like warnings written on a wall. He does not shout the message, he speaks it with patience. That makes it heavier. Lines about hunger, struggle, and judgment fall into place over the beat and keep echoing after the song ends. The arrangement is minimal on purpose. When a rim shot snaps or the organ swells, you notice it, because there is space around every sound. That space becomes part of the storytelling. It teaches you to listen for what is not said as much as for what is said. The track also traveled in an unexpected way. In the UK, post-punk bands and DJs gravitated to its slow swing and stark beauty. One famous cover pushed it onto rock stages without stripping away its roots. That crossover did not dilute the song, it proved its strength. Armageddon Time is built on the essentials, a rhythm that holds you, a voice that warns you, and a truth you cannot argue with. It is the sound of a city after sunset, when the day's noise dies down and the real talk begins.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
The studio version is lovely. The live version is the one people carry in their hearts. Recorded in London in 1975, it captures a crowd turning into a choir and a band finding the perfect temperature. Warm organ, patient drums, bass like a steady hand on your back. Bob Marley sings with a kind of gentle authority.
You see, I remember.
He remembers hard times without shame and promises comfort without pretending life is easy. The chorus rises and the whole room answers. For a few minutes, strangers sound like family. This performance shows what reggae can do at its highest level. Take a very local story and make it feel like everybody's story. The verses point back to a yard in Kingston. Simple meals, shared burdens, small joys. The message is clear. We got through those days together, and we will get through the next ones the same way.
You see, I remember.
When the audience joins, the idea becomes real in front of your ears. Music does not just report community here, it builds it. There is another quiet truth inside the song. Marley credited it to his friend Vincent Ford, a man known for helping feed people in Trenchtown. Royalty checks from this classic helped keep that work alive.
So dry your tears, I say.
So the comfort in the lyric, "Everything is gonna be all right," was matched by action in the real world. That gives the record an extra light. It is not only a memory or a promise, it is a lifeline that kept moving long after the encore. This is why the live "No Woman, No Cry" sits at the top of so many lists.
In the government yard in Trenchtown.
It is not the flashiest performance. It is not the most complex arrangement. It is the one that makes a room of thousands feel held. Decades later, people still sing it at weddings and funerals, in joy and in grief, because it speaks a language everyone knows. We have seen hard days, we will see more, and we are not alone.
No.
If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video. You know the hits, but the records that built reggae, the ones that changed studios, sound systems, and bass music worldwide, got left in the shadows. If you've never sat with Blackboard Jungle Dub, Pick a Dub, Forces of Victory, or Heart of the Congos, you're missing the DNA behind hip-hop sampling, UK bass, and modern dancehall. Skip these and you'll keep hearing echoes without knowing the source. Tonight, 15 albums that changed music forever, but almost nobody talks about. I'll tell you why each matters and what to listen for. Bass as lead voice, echo tales that paint pictures, the melodica turned into a star, and the mic man who made the DJ an instrument. From Perry's Black Ark Sorcery to Pablo's Rockers Meditation, from U-Roy and Big Youth bringing the sound system to wax, to LKJ and Aswad reshaping the UK, all the way to scientists turning the mixing desk into a movie. This is C-Trends, Deep Crate Reggae, told simple and true. Hit subscribe, drop one album plus one track you think we missed, and let's open the vault.
I woulda just flash me
Mid-80s reggae was getting leaner and more modern, and this 6-track debut is the purest proof. Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare lock in a heavy, simple groove. Ini Kamoze glides over it with a cool, unhurried voice. The power comes from space. Big drums, roomy bass, almost no clutter. That's why the rhythm still feels fresh today. If you want one door into the record, start with World of Music. Notice how little the arrangement changes, yet it never gets boring. The beat breathes, the bass sings, and Kamosi controls the room without raising his voice.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
This is Dub as a movie. The Roots Radics give you strong, steady rhythms. Scientist turns the mixing board into a stage. Sounds vanish and return like jump scares. Echo trails open up the room. Bass lines become the lead character. Close your eyes during Your Teeth in My Neck and listen to how the drums drop out and slam back, how a snare hit seems to stretch into the distance, how a horn pops out of nowhere and then disappears. It's storytelling with faders, showing how studio tricks can shape emotion without a single lyric.
American man,
Here comes the blueprint for early dancehall vocals. Barrington Levy's tone is bright and confident, and he slides from chest voice to falsetto with ease. Producer Junjo Lawas and the Roots Radics keep the track clean. Tight drums, deep bass, nothing extra. That's the secret. Room for the singer to shine. Put on Englishman. Feel how the groove sits perfectly in the pocket, never rushing. The hook repeats just enough to stick in your head, and Levy's high notes lift the chorus without needing more instruments. This is how reggae moved from heavy roots into a new, lean era. A teenager with a calm, serious voice records one of Roots Reggae's most loved albums. Augustus Pablo guides the sound. Gentle guitars, deep bass, and the famous melodica lines drifting like smoke around the vocal. The songs don't shout, they breathe. Play Africa Must Be Free by 1983. Listen to how the melody feels like a prayer and how the instruments leave space for every word. The mood is meditative but strong, soft edges, steady heart. It shows that roots music can be powerful without being loud. Harmony Trio and Rockers production. This is the Far East vibe at full bloom. The voices move together like one instrument while Augustus Pablo shapes a slow, steady river beneath them. Bass rolls, drums relax, melodica floats above the blend. Put on, let's get started. Notice the three-part vocals lifting and settling as one, the unhurried feel that never drags, and those high melodica phrases answering the singers like a second lead. It's a rare balance, devotional mood with a deep groove, made for long listens and late nights. Picture London in the early 80s. Cold nights, small clubs, huge speaker boxes. Reggae in the UK isn't just copying Jamaica anymore. It's building its own sound. Aswad step into this moment with a dub record that feels like modern architecture. Every line is clean, every echo is placed with care, and the low end is deep enough to shake the floor. This album shows how dub can be sharp and high-tech without losing soul. The horns don't just appear, they're sculpted, pushed through short delays so they cut like light beams. The bass doesn't only hold notes, It shapes the room, turning each bar into a space you can stand in. The drums stay tight and dry, so every effect, chorus, echo, reverb, has a clear edge and never gets messy. Start with Dub Fire. Let the intro breathe. Notice how the horns hit, then leave a shadow behind. Hear how the bass climbs one simple figure, and suddenly the whole mix seems to open. This is dub that respects silence as much as sound. It's also a statement. The UK isn't an echo of Kingston anymore. It's a second capital for dub, with its own rules and its own finesse. Now move from the studio to the stage. You're in a hall packed with London's immigrant communities and their friends. The lights are low, the banner says Counter Eurovision, and Misty and Roots walk on. No tricks. No click tracks, just a band that plays for the people in front of them. From the first bars you feel a stepper's beat marching under your feet, and a crowd that answers every call from the mic. This album is the sound of UK roots growing strong outside the charts. The songs carry politics, but they also carry comfort. Chant hooks that 1,000 voices can sing together, messages of dignity and patience, and bass lines that keep every heart moving at the same slow, steady speed. You can hear the band listen to each other. The drummer holds the pocket, the guitarist leaves space, the singer waits for the room to breathe before the next line. Play, See Them A Come. Keep an ear on the crowd noise, how it swells when the chorus returns, how the band leans into that energy without rushing the tempo. What you're hearing is community captured on tape. That's why this record still matters. It proves live reggae can be large and gentle at the same time, and that a message can travel farther when the rhythm is patient. Put away the big vocal runs. Here, the voice speaks. Linton Kwesi Johnson doesn't sing his stories. He delivers them, clear and firm, like letters read aloud. Under him, producer-bassist Dennis Bovell builds dub frameworks that move with slow strength. Heavy bass, dry drums, and space where each word can land.
Rock it. But what? The police them did stop it.
This is where dub poetry steps into the center. The subject is real life, policing, work, family, pride, survival. The music doesn't try to decorate the speech, it supports it. Horns arrive as punctuation, one quick stab, then silence. Guitars scratch in the corner so the bass has room to speak. Reverb isn't used to show off, it's used to underline a line and let it hang in the air. Play Sonny's Letta. Listen to the rhythm breathe between phrases. Notice how the bass line repeats like a steady heartbeat while the story climbs, scene by scene. The power is in the cadence, the way words lock to the groove. This album taught a generation that poetry and dub are not strangers. Put them together and you get something both intimate and unshakable. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae Vibe, Roots and Lovers. Rock Made Easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock Lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop Lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is one button from silence to music. And the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Teaching the youth to dig my musical version. Versions from
Before the word DJ meant turntables, it meant the mic man on a sound system, someone who could ride a rhythm in real time and keep a dance going all night. U-Roy took that live skill and put it on record. The idea is simple but genius. Take well-known Treasure Isle rocksteady instrumentals and talk over them with timing, humor, and style.
if you are young, we're going to get let the good time go.
Suddenly, a B-side version becomes a new song. U-Roy's strength is touch. He never fights the track. He glides across it, stretching a word here, clipping a phrase there, leaving gaps so the drums and bass can speak. He's playful too. Little ad-libs, answers to the horns, quick name checks that make you feel like you're in the dance.
Your age from outer space. It will be no disgrace.
Put on, wear you to the ball. Feel how the backbeat leans and how his voice leans with it. Notice the respect he shows the rhythm. He sits inside it, not on top. Without shouting, he turns an instrumental into a conversation. This is a turning point for recorded reggae. It proves the MC can be the lead instrument, and it sets the stage for everything from toasting to modern dancehall flow.
And I bet you don't say no.
No, why?
If U-Roy opened the door, Big Youth walks through with boots on. This is the full DJ album idea, an entire set built around one voice that can switch from chant to melody in a second. The rhythms are tough, the bass is loud, and the message is street level. Style, survival, freedom, fun. Big Youth doesn't just talk over the track. He locks into it so tightly that his voice becomes part of the percussion.
Be great. Be great.
His tone is rough and bright, like a megaphone. He'll sing a hook for 2 bars, then cut to a talking line that hits like a slogan. He keeps phrases short and strong so the crowd can throw them back. And the band behind him stays strict. Drums in the pocket, bass lines you can march to, guitar skanks like clock hands.
The little racy clauses all around us, I would say.
Spin, screaming target. Count how often he changes gear, sing, toast, shout, whisper, and how the groove never wobbles. This is where the DJ moves from side attraction to main event. The album proves the talk-over style isn't a gimmick. In the right hands, it's a songwriting tool, a way to build drama and release without ever leaving the beat. Step into Lee Scratch Perry's Black Ark studio at its peak. The air feels thick, like the sound is painted onto smoke. On top of that haze, you hear 2 voices, Cedric Myton's high falsetto and Roydell Johnson's warm tenor, stacked together like light and shadow. Hand drums chatter at the edges, shakers tick like a clock, and a round rolling bass line keeps the floor moving. Play Fisherman and stay with the first minute. The rhythm doesn't rush, it sways. The harmonies lift like a church choir, but the mix feels earthy and close, almost handmade. This is spiritual roots music that still sounds otherworldly because the studio itself becomes part of the band. The Congos show that devotion and groove can live in the same breath. Everything turns darker here, in a beautiful way. Vivian Yabby You. Jackson sings with a trembling, honest tone that makes every line feel urgent. The band doesn't crowd him. Drums strike hard and stop. Horns come in short, minor key phrases like warnings. Space sits between each part so the message can land. Spin the title track and listen to how much power comes from doing less. You hear echoes like open air, not thick effects. The lyrics speak about judgment and courage, The music carries that weight without ever getting loud. This album created a deeper devotional mood in Roots, serious, steady, and unforgettable. Close your eyes and picture a river at night. Slow water, quiet stones, moonlight. That's the pace of this record. Augustus Pablo takes the melodica, normally a small school instrument, and turns it into a lead voice. Close your eyes and picture a river at night. Slow water, quiet stones, moonlight. That's the pace of this record. Augustus Pablo takes the melodica, normally a small school instrument, and turns it into a lead voice. He doesn't show off. He sings simple lines on that little keyboard while the band breathes around him. Soft guitar chops, gentle clavinet, bass that moves like a calm heartbeat. Start with the title tune. The melody uses Far East, touches that feel both ancient and fresh. You're not pushed, you're guided. It's instrumental roots with dub thinking, letting the notes ring, leaving room for silence, trusting a patient groove. Few albums prove more clearly that quiet can be powerful. Strip the music down until only the strongest parts remain. Drums, bass, a few ghost notes, and make that the story. Keith Hudson's Pick a Dub does exactly this. The snare is dry and firm. The bass moves like footsteps in an empty hall. A single guitar flicker or organ stab flashes by, and then is gone. Instead of crowding the mix, the gaps become the hook. Play the opening cut and notice how the rhythm holds you without big changes. The tension is in the space. What drops out? What returns? How long Hudson waits before bringing something back. He proves dub isn't a leftover. It can be the main event. This is minimalism turned into muscle.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Here's the spark that lit the road ahead. Lee, scratch. Perry takes early dub ideas and pushes them into a full album experience. He treats the mixing board like a living instrument, cutting sound to silence, then slamming it back, throwing spring reverb across a rim shot so it blooms into the distance, letting a horn blast flash in and vanish like lightning. And because it's mixed in stereo, the effects move around you, not just at you. Put on the title track and listen to how the whole band can disappear in a blink and reappear heavier than before. Bass isn't just support, it leads. Drums don't just keep time, they draw shapes. This record is the blueprint for so much that followed. Roots, dancehall, UK bass culture, hip-hop sampling, even parts of post-punk and electronic music. It's the moment the studio truly becomes the stage. If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.
The love I got inside was so warm and kind.
In early 70s Britain, reggae slipped out of basement parties and onto daytime radio. A cartoon beagle skanked into the top 5. A light music waltz learned the offbeat. A studio band you've never seen hit number 3 and vanished. Tonight we count down 15 one-hit wonders that struck once and left a mark. How they rose, why they disappeared, and what they changed along the way.
He's a real tasty geezer, and I mean here inside. Reggae, reggae.
Johnny Reggae arrived like a grin you couldn't wipe off your face. Credited to the Piglets, it was really a studio creation from hit chaser Jonathan King, who wrote and produced the track and coached session singers to sell the cheeky tale of a fashion-obsessed lad.
Reggae, reggae, reggae. Here comes Johnny Reggae. Johnny.
The beat is pure UK pop reggae. Clipped guitar on the offbeat, bass pumping simply. A chanty hook designed for playgrounds and pubs. It did exactly what it was built to do. Shoot up the chart to number 3 in late 1971 and hang around for weeks, then vanish, the name Piglets dissolving back into studio mist. Sometimes a one-hit wonder is more a clever product than a band. This is that story.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Them and I gaily laughed to think they could.
Blue Haze took an old melody and set it on a new groove. Their 1972 take on the 1930s standard turns the song into a slow-swaying lover's glide. Arranger Johnny Arthy and producer Phil Swern sprinkle light strings over a gentle skank. The vocal stays smooth and close, like a breath on your ear.
Tears I cannot hide.
It was a smart crossover bet. Familiar tune, fashionable rhythm, and it worked modestly, peaking at number 32. Blue Haze never found a second hit, but the record points to the softer, romantic strain that would blossom later in the decade as lovers rock.
80 men died, now they're buried together on the countryside.
On paper it's absurd, a cartoon beagle, a World War I dogfight, and a novelty lyric, all recut with a Kingston bounce. On the radio it was irresistible. The single took off in the summer of 1973, climbed to number 4, and lived all season.
Was running up the score, 80 men died, trying to end that spree.
Behind the scenes, the band was fluid. Session players cut the track to nail the feel, drawing on the Anglo-Jamaican talent that powered so many UK reggae sessions, while a different lineup mimed the hit on TV. That mix of black British craft under a marketable face was common in the era. The hotshots never repeated the trick, but for one glorious summer, Snoopy skanked. Before his 1986 Lovers Rock chart topper, Boris Gardner slipped into Britain's top 20 with a warm, instrumental reimagining of Ronald Binge's light music chestnut, Elizabethan Serenade. It's all poise, melody gliding on strings while the rhythm section gives it a sunny seaside rock-steady push. Listeners heard something both familiar and new, and the single rose to number 14. The record also shows how porous the borders were between British light entertainment and Jamaican rhythm. In 1970, even a prim post-war tune could learn to walk with a little island sway.
Much too long, together we stand, so brave and so...
Where Phil Spector's 1969 version with the Checkmates, Lenny Ladded thundered, Horace Faith's cover softens the edges and lets the lyric breathe. Cut for Trojan, the arrangement steps lightly, the rhythm section nudging the offbeat while Faith sings plain and true.
Heart to heart, and soul to soul, no one...
British listeners rewarded it. The single spent 10 weeks on the chart and peaked at number 13, his only UK top 40 entry. It's a perfect example of how reggae in Britain often moved through translation. Take a soul ballad people already loved, set it to a skank, and suddenly it belongs to Saturday night in Shepherd's Bush as much as it does to AM radio in the States. A southern rock anthem became a late-night reggae cruiser. Paul Davidson took the Allman Brothers' Outlaw song and moved it to the skank. Clipped guitar on the 2 and 4, a bass line that walks steady, and a vocal that sounds like a man keeping his cool while the world chases him. The single rose to number 10 in January 1976, a clean top 10 crossover that proved British radio would make room for a Jamaican-flavored cover if it had story and swagger. Behind the scenes, the cut's credits tell a transatlantic tale, issued in the UK on Tropical, and widely documented as produced guac arranged by Leighton Pluto Shervington, the Kingston singer-producer who knew how to build a radio-ready groove. It's the Allman's melody, yes, but the pulse is Kingston via London, and that's what carried it.
Long hair, bow-legged, her thighs was thick like she ran track. For what it's worth, shorty was made.
Dandy was already a UK ska she rocksteady stalwart when this one landed. Suzanne is simple on the surface, a cautionary love song, but what sells it is the balance. A bright, neat rhythm section, soft string flourishes, and Dandy's easy conversational delivery. Britain heard it and pushed it to number 14 in autumn '72, his lone top 20 UK hit.
About 8:50 in Atlantic City. After you, boo, my attitude is real.
Scenery sunny at 1.
The record sits at a crossroads. A Jamaican-born British-based artist, real name Robert Livingston Thompson, voicing over an arrangement built for daytime radio. It's the bridge between skinhead reggae's stomp and the smoother lovers rock feel that would define the back half of the decade.
Living the love of a common being, flies on the yacht of the family man.
Few songs wear the pop reggae tag better. Joe Gibbs recut this American country soul tune in Kingston with Nicky Thomas. Then Trojan pushed it in the UK. The lyric, hard times, strong families, felt real to migrants and to working-class Britain alike. And Thomas sings it without showboating. Straight ahead, proud, warm.
Flies from the yacht of the family man. Body's gonna buy you a dream to take. Mama's gonna love it.
It climbed to number 9 in June 1970 and stayed on the chart for 14 weeks, the biggest success of his career. The record's power is its honesty. Nothing fancy, just a singer you believe riding a groove you can't miss. A story in patois, a wink at everyday hustle. Dat is a mini-movie about a Rasta trying to buy pork on the sly, saving money for a little weed, without calling the meat by name in front of his brethren. The humor lands because the band keeps it unhurried and sly. Rubbery bass, sly guitar flicks, melody that floats. British listeners loved the slice-of-life detail and sent it to number 6 in March 1976, one of the decade's unlikeliest top 10s. Beneath the jokes is social texture, Kingston prices, community pressure, and a man negotiating both with a grin. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs. Hands-free at home? Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
Squeeze a little more loving, I need you.
By decade's end, British reggae wasn't just importing Jamaican singles, it was writing its own sound. Matumbe, led by Dennis Bovell, pressed a lovers-leaning tune that still swings with London grit, light keys, airy harmonies, and a rhythm you could slow dance to.
Squeeze a little more loving, I need you.
Point of View reached number 35 in September 1979, a breakthrough moment for a black British band, proving you could chart without diluting your identity. Credits matter here too. Co-written within the group, produced with engineer Errol E.T. Thompson, and released on the indie Mr. Rick Matumbi imprint. Evidence of a homegrown ecosystem ready to stand beside the Jamaican greats. A tune born in Kingston finally found its pop moment in London. John Holt had cut OK Fred back in 1971, sketching a romance between an uptown girl and a downtown Yaga Yaga boy who refuses to dress or behave like anyone else. 8 years later, Errol Dunkley stepped up with a fresh, radio-ready take, tight rhythm guitar, a bass line that walks rather than shouts, and vocals that smile through the lyric. Producer Ossie Hibbert kept the mix lean so the groove speaks first, the hook does the rest. What made it connect wasn't only the melody, it was recognition. Britain knew the culture clash the song describes. Style tribes, class codes, kids choosing their own look. OK Fred climbed to number 11 on Scope Records and stayed on the singles chart for 11 weeks. Proof that reggae's everyday stories played just fine on daytime radio.
That her love would never die, and now
there are two money in my pocket stories. The first is 1972. A young Dennis Brown records a rootsy version produced with Winston "Niney" Holness, a singer pleading that money can't fix a broken heart.
She made me hate in mind that her.
The second is 1978-79. Joe Gibbs and engineer Errol Thompson rebuild it for international ears. Cleaner drums, glossier guitar, a long disco mix pairing Brown with DJ Prince Muhammad on Cool Runnings. That remake caught the soul clubs first, then jumped to pop listeners.
Mine was a very, very hard to find. Oh, it's hard.
Released in the UK on Lightning Records, it reached number 14 in March 1979, turning Brown, the crown prince of reggae, into a household name beyond reggae circles. The song works because it's simple and truthful. A man with cash in his hand and a gap in his life, carried by a rhythm you can sway to without thinking. Lovers rock at full power. Dennis Bovell wrote and produced Silly Games as a modern slow dance, tender lyric, feather-light rhythm, and a single show-stopping high note designed to make a dance floor hold its breath. Janet Kay's voice turns that idea into magic, intimate verses, then the sky-high leap that seems to hang in the air. When the record hit, it did more than sell. It changed what British TV sounded like. Kay's appearance made Lovers Rock visible on Top of the Pops, and the single rose to number 2, the scene's biggest mainstream moment. The genius is restraint. The instruments never crowd the vocal, the beat is soft but certain, and the story, a bold young woman stepping forward, feels fresh even now.
Do you see me in my pants and tape? See me in my altar back?
Two Jamaican teenagers, a hand-me-down rhythm, and a perfect twist of fate. Uptown Top Ranking rides the evergreen I'm Still in Love groove. Revived first by Marsha Aitken and toasted over by Trinity, then flips it with an answer song swagger.
And spring, them check say we come from Cosmo Spring, but the truth.
Producer Joe Gibbs keeps the drums dry and the guitar choppy. Althea and Donna trade lines like sisters, finishing each other's sentences. A BBC Radio 1 spin from John Peel turned curiosity into demand, and a Top of the Pops performance did the rest.
Dolly True Constant Spring. Them checks say we come from
In January 1978, it pushed through to number 1, the unlikeliest chart topper of the year, and a time capsule of teenage confidence. It's playful, stylish, and light on its feet. Exactly the kind of record that sneaks into your head and refuses to leave.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Before Lovers Rock had a name, Britain already loved a holiday fantasy with a reggae lilt. Barbados, written and produced by studio duo Jeffrey Calvert and Max West, is all postcard sunshine, airport announcements, steel pan touches, and a sing-along chorus built for car radios. It isn't roots reggae, it's pop with a Caribbean accent. But that's the point. In the summer of 1975, it climbed to number 1 and stayed on the chart for 11 weeks, showing how quickly the offbeat had become a shared language.
I'm going to see my girlfriend. Whoa,
Whatever you think of cod reggae, the single did 2 big things. It proved the rhythm could carry a mainstream number 1, and it opened space for deeper, more authentic voices to come through right after. Within a few years, those voices arrived. If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.